his eyes change to blue, purple, white, gray. We've seen all sorts of, 5, 7 maybe different iris pigments. We've seen his hair blonde. We've seen his hair white. We've seen his hair red, brown, black. And that's all natural. That's all natural from his 12.5% non-Germanic Swiss, native Swiss, indigenous Swiss, non-Germanic indigenous Swiss, 12.5%, well, also known as Aryan, and then the 38% from the North Pole, like Sanatown. Like, people come from Svalbard, and then they go, and find the continents, yeah, the countries. It's Sweden, it's Norway, it's Finland. Not much for Denmark. It's very south, but the Scandinavia, sans Greenland and Iceland. It says, but also Greenland and Iceland, they're just a little bit different Nords than those big three there in the royal continents, the royal countries. And it's okay. So it's late at night, and I've been off the tubes for what, a week, or a week in my time, as far as I had a year here, and I was hoping to get 2 seasons in, but I didn't start, until I was comfortable in the apartment. Uh, and we were going over his overhead pull down weight is 1260. That's the heaviest he could do in reps, but they suggest monitored, by some medical practice. 1100, go ahead and wail on it all day. Crunch, plang, crunch, playing. 1100 overhead pull down. Yeah, that's 1,100 pounds in the overhead pull down. The free weight is 160. We found out because he finally counted the weights, brought the bar back to the apartment, and the bar is 100, and then there's 30 on either side. That's 160. So, and then his free weight's 160. His overhead pull down is 1260, and leg press is 780, which we've gotten up to 900 before, but that's when he was, before the injury. It's all old muscle. He hiked the White Mountains. He canoed the Delaware, River. All sorts of everything in between, New England style. And they ate like clam chowder in America. Mi amore, believe American life. So there was the Nordic, there was the Swiss. Those things were interesting, but there was the Cherokee, 12.5%. There's many Cherokee indigenous people still alive in the country today. The reservations generally won't accept an indigenous to the tribe, even if they're of race, unless it's blood enough. And generally, that's 15% over. So his other 12.5% is Lenape, like Mohegans and Pequots. And we're missing some gap here. It's 25% Scottish. That's where he gets his white bread, his normal Caucasian from Europe, Scotland, which happens to be related to Bob Weir, Monet Weir, from the Shepherd side, from the Scottish Shepherds, and then John Lennon from the Beatles, another Scottish Lennon Shepherd, Scotland Caucasian, and then there was the Swedes, the Carlsons, which are also a little bit Norwegian, and the Finnish Cherokee there from David Marshall, and unnamed probably Carlson spelled with a K. So he was going over that. He was going over his why would a woman pick me? Well, he's 150 pounds of weight. He's a waist size 28. He's 6 foot tall. He speaks multiple languages. Doesn't understand them when he's speaking them, unless there's an English slurred in, which is, it might be disconnected, or it might be the same feel. Well, he knows the Cherokee language.